Why don't scale factors die early? Because they dilate. Get it? Dilations, dilate. Anyways, what is a dilation? You actually started doing dilations in middle school. And here's a typical project that you might do. Your teacher's going to tell you to make an enlargement of a picture, and in this case we're going to make it twice as big. So April's like, okay, all right, and we give April the coordinates, and she fills out her table. And she's like, well, I'll just make it twice as tall. So that would only affect, A is going to stay the same place, so it's still on bottom. B is going to stay the same place. And then she says, well, I'll just put C twice as high. That'll put it up at 0.26. I'm sorry. That would, point D is up there. And then switch these two, C and D. And then the next one would be at 10.26. Okay, interesting. Now let's take a look at May's image. She says, well, why don't I just multiply everything by 2? So she goes 0, 0, 20, 0, 0, 26, and 20, 26. Okay, so that's what she got. June said, well, I'm just going to go ahead and make it twice as wide. That'll be twice as big. So that's only going to affect the x-coordinate. So the A point stays the same, B is 20, 0, C is 0, 13, and D is further out. Again, my C and D are switched up here. Okay, finally we have May. She says, well, I'll just add 2 and just slide it over 2 each way. So these are her coordinates after adding 2 to the x and the y. The question is, who succeeded in enlarging, making an enlargement of a factor of 2? Well, May is the one who succeeded because the picture of the dog is twice as tall and twice as wide. And it makes dilation about the origin a pretty easy thing to do. What we're going to do is use the scale factor, which we will abbreviate as K. And a dilation is a transformation that changes the size of a figure, but it's not its shape. So when we're doing a dilation, how must the coordinates change? Well, you just multiply both the x and y coordinates by the scale factor. And when dilating about the origin, we tend to use this notation, a D for dilation. Then the next point is the point where you're dilating about. For right now, we're starting at the origin, which is the easiest dilation. Then you put a comma in the scale factor. So normally this will be a number. Or you can use this other form of notation, which is x comma y goes to kx comma ky. Again, that only works for the origin. So for further reflection, how can you tell when a figure is dilated? And why are dilations considered non-rigid transformations?